Hello, my name is Paul Kroto. I'm a Diamond Director at Drink ACT, and in this short video, I would like to explain to you law number 4 of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, the law of navigation. Drink ACT is basically a high-speed train that can take you and your team from where you are to where you want to go to extremely fast. But as like with any train, it needs tracks. And I wrote here on the right, you must lay the train tracks before the train can go anywhere. And the same holds true for your Drink ACT business. And that's where the law of navigation comes in. So basically, if you want to take a trip across the country with your team, the first thing you need is a roadmap, is tracks to ride on. So number 1 is draw a roadmap for your team to follow. Now, where are you going to find this roadmap for your team to follow? Well, I basically made one already called the ACT Flight Plan. It's at actflightplan.com. Now, all of us came into this Drink ACT business with a jetpack. And as with any jet, which is your business, you have to get the jet off the ground and flying. Well, any pilot, before he flies, gets a flight plan. Okay, it's basically a roadmap on how to get from where you are to where you want to go to. So you have to start looking at yourself as a navigator. And giving your team this flight plan will increase their chances of success tremendously because they will have a map now on how to get to where they want to go to. Now, having a roadmap isn't enough. The second thing you need is to equip your team for success. And I highly encourage you to read Chapter 4 in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the Law of Navigation chapter. John Maxwell in that chapter talks about these two teams. They're both headed to the South Pole. One team was very successful. They make it to the South Pole. One team is unsuccessful. Actually, they all die. It's a really great story, though, so I really encourage you to read it. But basically, the team that was successful was well-equipped. Their navigator not only had a great map on how to get from where they were to the South Pole, but he also equipped his team well. He gave his team the best equipment, the best jackets to wear, the best sleeping bags to be in, the best tents to stay in. All the equipment that their team had, his team had, was the best of the best. And he equipped his team so well that they were able to get all the way to the South Pole and reach their destination. Now, how can you do that here at Drink ACT? What can you equip your team with so that they have a better chance of making it from where they are to where they want to go to? Well, the first thing is the ACT Advantage. It's the best tool we have here at Drink ACT. If you give this to your members to use and they start handing it to their prospects, their chances of success go up tremendously because the ACT Advantage does a perfect job at explaining this business to their prospects. The second tool is moreactinfo.com. It's a great website that I created that basically has everything from A to Z that you and your team will need to be successful here at Drink ACT. It's a great tool to use, and it will help you be a better navigator if you and your team use this website. The third thing is the personalized website that the company gives everybody for free at drinkactweb.com. Have your team use that. They can send their prospects there. Their prospects can find out more information about Drink ACT, and they can sign up right there on your and your team's personalized website. The fourth thing is to encourage your team to have samples on hand. Samples on hand is just another tool that will help your team be more successful. What happens to me is maybe I'll meet someone who I don't know very well, I don't have a ton of influence with. What I'll do is I'll hand them a can and a couple power-up capsules. Have them try it. They love it. That increased my influence. Now they want to join. So what do? I send them to my personalized Drink ACT website. It helps them explain the business for me. It makes me look like a professional. And it signs them up for me too. If they want more information before they enroll, I send them to moreactinfo.com. Let that website do the explaining for me. It's a wonderful tool. And I can also show them the ACT Advantage, which is a professional business plan on black and white that explains exactly how this business works and how it can work for them. So if you utilize all these tools and give all these tools to your new team members, their chances of success is extremely high. They will be successful here at Drink ACT if you give your team a good roadmap to follow, which is the flight plan, and equip your team for success properly by having and showing them how to utilize these 4 tools. If you do this, you will basically get them on the track towards success. I'm on track to earning a 6-digit income this year. People can start saying that because you got them on the right track, the right train tracks, by showing them the right roadmap and equipping them properly for their journey towards success. Here at Drink ACT, we have a business plan of use, share, teach. And the law of navigation is all about the teaching part of use, share, teach. So what, again, you're trying to do here is become a better navigator here in this law. That's what we're focusing on right now. Now, the key to the law of navigation is to plan ahead. Now, what does that stand for? Well, the P stands for predetermine, of course, a course of action. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to build this Drink ACT business? Well, what are the actions we're going to take? Well, there's 3 actions we're going to take here at Drink ACT to be successful. Number 1, use the products, which is action. Share the plan, share the products, which is both actions, and teach people, which is an action. So our course of action is to use, share, teach. So we predetermine that. The L stands for lay out your wildly important goal. If you haven't done so already, under number 4 below, I have a link where you can click on that and take the Drink ACT goal setting program. It's a program I wrote that helps you develop what your wildly important goal is. It's so important before you start the journey someplace that you have a goal in mind. That gentleman that was successful with his team, he knew he wanted to get to the South Pole. He knew exactly where he wanted to get to. So it's important that you start your Drink ACT business knowing exactly why you're here and where you want to get to. The A stands for adjust your priorities. And what I've done in the goal setting program is given you 14 priorities to have in your life. Number 1 is to use the products every day. Number 2 is to cultivate your goals every day. Number 3 is to do some personal development every day. Read some books, listen to some audio tapes, and the priorities go on and on. So adjust your priorities. These are probably different things than what you're used to doing. So you have to adjust your priorities if you want to be successful. The next thing that you have to do is notify key personnel. Notify your downline. Notify your personally enrolled members that we're putting a new goal setting program into place, a new map into place. Make sure everyone knows in your downline. Notify them of the ACT flight plan if they don't know about it already. Notify them of the 4 different tools that are available to them here at Drink ACT. Allow time for acceptance. So you're going to notify them of this great goal-setting program. Don't expect everybody to just jump on it right away. They're going to have to take some time to accept it, work it into their lives, because they're adjusting their own priorities also. So this is a big change for a lot of people. They're not used to keeping score all the time. So this is something new. Allow some time for acceptance. But the key is to head into action. Don't just wait around waiting for the perfect day. There is no such thing as the perfect day. Okay, today is the day you start. So head into action with you and your team. Start keeping score. Now, when you do that, you're going to have to expect some problems to come along. Okay, it's just not going to be easy in the beginning. The first 2-3 weeks are going to be difficult. It's something new that everybody is doing. This whole goal setting thing and scoreboard thing and keeping score thing and texting your score to your upline every day is something very, very new. So expect problems, especially in the beginning, with this. But always point to successes. Even though there's problems going on, there's always going to be successes. Even if they're just using the product, point to that. Point to, wow, that's great. At least you're using the products. Actually, 33% of the business plan is use the products. So they're 33% of the way there. They just need to do the other 66%. But before you criticize them on not doing the other 66%, point to the successes. Whatever they're doing good, point to those first, then offer some constructive criticism on how they can, and some advice on how they can work the business better and follow the plan better so that they can increase their chances of success. And last but not least, the D stands for daily review your plan. It's so important to have this scoreboard in front of you all the time, to have your wildly important goal in front of you all the time, to have all of your downline or your inner circles goals in front of you, and you're keeping track of their score because they're texting you or emailing you their score every single day. So you're reviewing your plan. If you're a great navigator, every morning before you head back out onto the road, you're reviewing the plan. Where am I? Where do I want to get to? What's going on with my team? What's going good? What's going bad? Always review the plan so you always have a good idea in your mind of where things are at. An important question to ask yourself right now is, how good are you at navigating your personally enrolled members towards achieving their wildly important goal? That's such a great question to ask yourself. How good are you at navigating your personally enrolled members towards achieving their wildly important Drink ACT goal? And that's just a personal reflection question you can ask yourself. And you have to, if you want to be successful here at Drink ACT, if you want to achieve your wildly important goal, you're going to have to master this law of navigation. You have to get good at navigating other people, not only yourself. You still have to navigate yourself, keep score, and head in the right direction yourself. But you also have to be very, very good at navigating other people and showing them a way, because they just came into Drink ACT. They're brand new. They don't know the way from where they are or how to get from where they are to where they want to get to. You're going to have to be the navigator and show them the way. So get good at that. Now, how can you get good at that? What are some things you can do and utilize? Well, number one is make sure you and your whole team are following the ACT flight plan. That is a great start. As long as you're all using the same roadmap, the chances of success are 100%. Number two, make sure you and your team are well equipped and using the Drink ACT tools. What do I mean by that? The ACT flight plan is a great tool. Moreactinfo.com is a great tool. Your personalized Drink ACT websites are a great tool. And have plenty of samples on hand. Have jet fuel. Remember, we all have jets here at Drink ACT. We all have the flight plan. We got the flight plan in hand. We're following the map. But you have to have fuel to keep the jet going. And that jet fuel is the jet fuel auto ship. Have samples on hand so you and your team can hand those to other people. It will increase your success rates tremendously by getting samples up. And last but not least, the best way to master the law of navigation is to stay focused on your scoreboard and hold your team accountable for staying focused on theirs. That is so critical that you focus on the scoreboard and always it's one thing to have the strategy in place. It's another to execute that strategy. So we have the strategy perfect here at Drink ACT. You share, teach, the flight plan, everything is there. The strategy is there. Now it's up to the execution. And you have to be a master at execution in your own life. And again, you have to be a great navigator in showing your downline how to be a great at execution too. So it's a real important point that you and your team get great at execution. And the key to that is following that scoreboard. So on this last slide, I encourage you to go on and listen to the 5-minute John Maxwell recording below. That'll help. John will explain this law better than I have explained it already. I encourage you to go on and read Chapter 4 in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the Law of Navigation. Read the applying page at the end of the chapter and start actually applying what you learned to your Drink ACT business here. It's not enough to just watch these videos and read the book and listen to John speak in the audio message, but you have to actually start applying what you're learning here in these videos to your Drink ACT business. The key is to help your team get on the train tracks today. That's the whole message here of this video, is get your team on the train tracks. And hopefully I've explained how to do that here in this video. If you have not watched the Drink ACT Wildly Important Goal Setting video yet, you can click here under number 4 below. Read the questions under Appendix A to score yourself on this law. Get with your coach so you and your coach can score you together. It's so important to get 2 opinions on what your score is on a scale from 1 to 10 on this law. If you score low on this law, refer to Appendix B in the back of the book. John has some great chapters he points to in other books that will help you master this law of navigation, improve yourself on it. I also encourage you to meet one-on-one with your upline or in a small group to have a discussion about this law. Discussion groups are so powerful. And last but not least, always look for ways to continually become a better navigator.